Hi, my name is Jonathan Hicks. I'm back at the Dice Cup, and this evening I'm joined by
Mark.
and Matt. And we've been playing a prototype of Tattoo Brawl, which is a game, as you might expect, about making tattoos. So each of you takes a particular character. In this case, I was the Ingenious. You have a certain special ability that's going to help you throughout the game. But you're attempting to make tattoos. This is your tattoo parlor here. This is somebody in the waiting room. But typically, you're going to acquire people who need tattoos from the middle. And they can go straight into the chair here if you have space for them, or they can wait in the waiting room. But you put somebody here, and then you're trying to, there's like a offer of tattoos that you can take. This is your sort of supply, and then you're using this, you kind of put this here to apply the tattoo onto the person. However, there's quite a few things you need to think about when doing this. You don't just want to grab a random person. If you flip over your special ability card, it kind of goes in this slot. This is you sat at your seat, and you've got a couple of special abilities. So there's certain kinds of tattoos. This circle represents Japanese tattoos. You can see here, the circle means it's a Japanese tattoo. And I'm particularly good at making Japanese tattoos. I get an extra $100 whenever I do it, and it costs me less ink. These tokens here represent your supply of ink. You can see there's a big pile of different kinds of colours of ink. But I need 2 fewer of the basic colours. So you've got primary colours, you kind of yellow, red and blue, and then you have to mix them together to make the secondary colours. But I can use it less ink if I'm making one of the Japanese tattoos. But also you have a specialty in terms of what part of the body you want to do it on. So I really want to do tattoos on somebody's arm. You can see this person wants it on the hand. This person wants it on his chest, is that? Mm-hmm. This person on the foot. So what I really want, oh here we go, here is somebody who wants it on the arm. So although I've got this person in the waiting room, I don't really want to give her the one tattoo that I know how to do. I could get a tattoo from the middle here. You can see there's somebody who wants the star kind of tattoo here. But my specialty is the Japanese circly thing, so that's what I want to do. So on your turn you have 4 actions, and you can use your actions to get a tattoo, or get a person, or move them into the chair, or start working on a tattoo, or you can get ink. You can take the basic ink for an action, so one action would be to take yellow or red or blue, or if you already have colours you can mix them. So if I had a red and yellow, I could spend those to take an orange, and that again would be an action. So what I might do on my turn is try and take this one. You can take one of the 2 here, or the one at the top of the deck. This person wants an arm, so I flip it over, and oh yes, look, they want the Japanese circle one, so that's great for me. So I'm going to stick them straight in my chair. That would be my first action. And then my second action would, in theory, be to make the tattoo, except I don't have the right... Have I got enough ink? I need a yellow, so I'm going to take a second action to take a yellow piece of ink. That will go there. And then, oh yes, I forgot, Max just reminded me, my specialty, I don't need as much. So I'm now going to try and make this my third action. And you sort of put the ink in the appropriate space. I've got the 2 black, so that will go on this side. And then I need 3 red and a yellow. But actually I need 2 less of the basic one, so that's great. I only need 1 red and a yellow. And then from now on, each turn allows me to make this. So I'd have 1 more action, maybe I just grab a bit of ink for later. But then at the start of my next turn, the clock, you use the big hand here, starts at 0. And you see the pips at the top is how many turns it takes you to make it. But because it's on the person's arm, and my specialty is arms, it takes me 1 fewer turn. So at the start of my next turn, this would tick around to the 1, and then I do some other things. Maybe I get some more tattoos, or get some extra people. But then on the start of my next turn, it ticks around until eventually it should get to 3, but because of my -1, actually it needs to be 2. So when it gets to 2, I complete the job. You get a certain amount of money for doing that particular tattoo, in this case $200. The person also, a bit tricky to get out of the, out of here. There we go, got them out. They need $50. It should really say on this side, but it doesn't. So it's $50 plus the $200, and because it's my specialty, that's an extra $100. So I'd be getting $350, which I just take from the bank. Now that's great. What's the point of the game though? Well, actually, it's not to get money. You get a few points at the end for money, but most of the points come from the tattoos. You can see at the bottom here, I'm getting 29 points for completing this tattoo. There's also some majorities, I don't know if you can see, but right at the bottom is a little 3. Whoever does the most of these circle Japanese tattoos will get an extra 3 points. So you can see at the bottom of the tattoos, you're getting 19 points for this one, 13 points for just writing the word tattoo. Obviously this is a prototype, so there's some artwork missing here. It's a prototype, but obviously in the real thing this is going to be filled out with art that looks very nice like this. So you play until somebody completes a certain number of tattoos based on the number of players, and so in we played a 4-player game. You had to complete 4 tattoos, and that kind of triggers the end of the game, and you count up your points. Whoever has the most points wins. What do you think?
Well, I guess the theme's unique, and that's a pro. And actually, as far as prototype copy, the quality components are decent. I can see where they're going. The game's not finished. It's a few months of heavy playtesting needed to feel remotely balanced. You're so much hit by the look of whatever either people are out or tattoos are out relative to your own skills. Like the -2 inks or minus time's really advantageous physically for action to turn, especially when essentially the timing clock of how long it takes to do the tattoo is completely out of your control. It's like I'm spending an extra action to move it on further. So if a tattoo will take me 2 turns to do and me 3 turns, they're a huge advantage. Like I'm assuming that the decks aren't full yet because some people have particular advantages where they had both the combination of ink and body parts, so they'd get both the monetary bonus and the time bonus. That wasn't available for my randomly joined character. And ultimately, just as far as actually playing the game, it was incredibly samey. After I'd done it 3 turns round, it felt everything else in the entire game was going to be the same. It just needed a little bit more meat to it to justify my interest, and because half the time I'm kind of waiting between turns, and ultimately it's a game, one of those games that if it's like, oh, I actually really want that thing in the middle, oh, somebody else has taken it. You can occasionally steal stuff back from other people, but if it works out, they can get it locked away so you can't get it. So you can just be hit by luck of, well, I can't get what I want, and so I might just waste a few turns.
All right, Matt.
Yeah, so like Mark said, there's a few things like there aren't enough people with the right combination of requirements for some of the tattooists. Like Mark didn't have as many people wanting his tattoos as others. Some of the other problems are the special ability not being on the other side of the card, so everyone forgot about their special ability entirely throughout the game, so no one used that. The balance in what the points are worth seems off. I'd made all 4 tattoos, so I finished the game, but Jonathan won by quite a bit because his tattoos were just worth so many more points than all the ones I made. So yeah, the points balance seems off, and there's costs to doing things which don't seem like they are kind of right. So you can buy ink from another player. They can refuse you, but it's hideously expensive for them to refuse, and it doesn't seem to make sense for that. What else is a problem? Yeah, so quite often, like Jonathan said, you're waiting to do your tattoo and you run out of things to do on your turn. You're just like, well, I can't really do anything. Maybe I can stockpile ink. Ink quite often ran out. So I had a whole turn when I couldn't even start my tattoo because all of the black ink was in everyone else's ink tattoo gun. So I was just sitting there stockpiling more ink. It feels like there should be more cards for more variety of the types of people that want to tattoo, but if this is the final rulebook, we've got the right number of cards, so that's presumably how many they're intending to put in, and they definitely need to put more. And the distribution is off as well. There are 4 people who want alien tattoos, but only 3 of each of the other types. So the alien tattoo specialist has the advantage there. And also of the tattooist cards, there are 5 different ones. 2 of them specialise in legs, 2 of them specialise in arms, 1 of them specialises in the butt, and none of them specialise in back, chest, shoulder, belly, or anything like that. So if, like me and Mark, we're both leg men, so we're fighting over the leg people who want tattoos on their legs. And because there's more people who want aliens tattooed on them, we're more likely to be giving the alien player some money for tattooing his speciality. So yeah, there's definitely some balance things going on that need sorting out and definitely need a lot of playtesting to fix. I think it can be a good game once those are sorted out, but they definitely need quite a bit of work.
Okay. Yeah, I'd agree definitely with the comments from both of those guys. The positives, I think the artwork is really nice. The graphic design is very good as well. A lot of the things are, in terms of symbology and things, it's clear. It's not necessarily like, why does a circle represent Japanese tattoos? I don't know, but it is clear nevertheless. So in terms of the way it looks, I think it's great. The components, even though it's a prototype, are pretty good, so that was nice. In terms of the comments they've made, yes, the problem really that we've got is it doesn't feel like a finished game. It needs quite a bit of development in terms of playtesting for the rules. I won, not because I played well, but I was just lucky. The cards happened to come up that matched my skills, so I could do them quicker, I could do them with less ink, and it's very difficult to mitigate that issue. You find in order to get the ones that match, because it's such a big advantage, you're cycling through the cards, and for some strange reason, when you take one of the people, if they don't match what you want, you can get rid of them, but you have to pay to send them away. So I was constantly taking people, just paying to get rid of them, because money's not worth a lot at the end of the game. And I was just cycling through loads and loads of cards, but everyone else was wanting the cards I was cycling through. It's like, oh no, you haven't just cycled a Lego. She was like, yep, I don't want that guy. But they needed him, so it's very hard to kind of deal with that sort of thing. These are issues that could potentially, I think, be fixed. I think the core of the game is solid, but it just needs a lot of work, more cards, more variability, things like that, to make this into a playable game. The other thing you should be aware of is it's quite take-thatty in that you can steal clients off people, you can take tattoos, you can pretty much force people to give you the ink as well, as Matt was saying, because it's so prohibitively expensive not to let them take your ink. So you can find, oh yes, I've got exactly what I need, and then somebody just takes what you want. So you're going to feel hard done by sometimes. I guess that's why it's called Tattoo Brawl. So just be aware of that. As long as you're aware of that, I don't think that's necessarily an issue. So yeah, great idea, great theme, great artwork and graphic design. Needs some development though to work in terms of sorting out the rules and the issues with the cards. But there's a solid game underneath it all somewhere, I think. All right, thanks for watching. That was Tattoo Brawl.